Hi, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon for everyone joining us today's session. Apologies for the delay. We just had a minor technical setback with the login. Hopefully, we're good to go. Thank you so much for patiently waiting. As you can see, we do have, the whole criteria of today's session is to discover the CRM that completes your Unleashed workflow. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. And just to introduce myself, I am Suraj, by the way. I've been part of the Access Group, extensively working on Prospect for the last 3 years, and I would be going through today's session with you. And if you do have if you do take a free trial with us, and we would have the privilege of meeting once again, or probably early next week or so on. Nice to meet you once again. And today's session is going to outline why is the CRM going to be a perfect match for Unleashed customers and how, it's not like an add-on or a module. It's more like a natural extension to your sales workflow. We're going to outline some of the best practices we have in the CRM that can complement your sales team in today's session and how they can use the CRM right from the get-go and get the maximum return on investment right from day one. And we're also going to show you some real business and real B2B sales growth. It's not like we're just not a data entry system where you can manage your opportunities. We can show you a forecast. We can give you all those cool graphs and some insights, but we're going to give you, your buying patterns of your existing customer base, any seasonality involved. What's the kind of average order value that you're missing out, or what's the order frequency like? And most importantly, we focus on customer retention as well, which really helps you with that real B2B sales growth. To outline that, and just to give you a bit of a preview, you can see right here, Helen from Pure Medic. The day she started, she got a call with the CRM expert, was amazing. She could see all of the data there immediately and thought this was life-changing. Of course, we're trying to, we're not guaranteeing this tagline, but we try to work our best towards it. You will be surprised to see the kind of integration and the power of data that flows through from Unleashed onto CRM. And to also give you a bit of a background, as I did mention, both Unleashed and Prospect have been working for close to 7+ years now. Before each one of them were, taken over by the Access Group, which was around 2020. Ever since then, both, our product experts and the developers have been working a bit more closely. We have been able to identify what are the specific pain points customers are going through and how we can implement that in the day-to-day activities of a sales team member. And also, as we did mention to you, our CRM is very specifically built for Unleashed customers. And if you do a bit of a comparison in the market, I'm pretty sure some of the customers are already using Salesforce, Pipedrive, or HubSpot. These are top providers that we've got out there. And you can also use comparisons as Zoho or Monday CRM or the other CRMs out there. But if you do look a bit closely at this day and age, everyone has got similar star rating and pricing. But these are what we call traditional CRM, which was ideally built for a service-led industry, which is like computer software like ourselves, financial services, IT, and so on, where there is an elongated sales process and each division is trying to log in their activities. And usually it's a high ticket sale and it takes probably 1, 2, or even 5 years to complete that sales cycle. But whereas Unleashed CRM focuses only on that niche vertical of wholesalers, distributors, and manufacturers, and all our features and functionality are built specifically for that customer base. And we only focus on your repeat order cycle, giving you that early return on investment, churn alerts, and who's missing out and who should be placing an order by now. Hopefully, we can show you some of that in today's session. And this is going to be the topic of discussion today, why we voted as the #1 stock OS CRM. As you are aware, not many CRMs get this award. It's a bit of a niche award. And you can also see the various accolades we've got from our partner providers like Xero, QuickBooks, and so on. And we've been voted, I think back to back as the highest user adoption, most implementable CRM, and highest performer, and so on. And to focus on the very important aspects of the CRM. This is a critical point, which is the growth formula or the growth model. With any top CRMs, the whole idea is to bring in more customers, which is through their marketing campaigns or opportunity management. We do have that functionality. Um, and most importantly, we heavily focus on your existing customer base, which in turn increases your higher CLTV's customer lifetime value. Together, we can promise you the sales growth that you're after, and hopefully we are putting you on the right track. And if I quickly break this formula for you, I'm sure you've seen this heaps of times, the classic funnel of doing business. One of the most basic concepts of any CRM, this CRM collects the leads that marketing generates. And then this could be right from your inquiry forms hosted on your website, any cold calling efforts you're making, telemarketing, marketing campaigns. And once when you qualify them, you push them through a sales process, which could be that initial face-to-face meeting, or sending a quote or even sending samples if that's part of your business process. Finally, you close the deal and get the first order. But as you know, the thumb of rule in wholesale and distribution, if this first order is a bit tentative, this whole process can be a loss-making effort because, of course, you're paying for your marketing campaigns and for any of those advertisements you're running. You're paying your sales team, which is not cheap. You're going to be paying a couple of resources. So if this first order is not valuable enough, this whole process can be a loss-making cycle. And unfortunately, all of the top CRMs stop right there. Their main focus is to bring in more customers through your and then fill in the funnel, getting the first order, boom, that's where they're done. But in Prospect, we aim to go a step further. Not only do we onboard your customers, but we heavily focus on increasing your average order value, increasing your order frequency, and most importantly, customer retention. So you don't have that leaky bucket effect where you're bringing in more customers and they're going through the other side of the funnel. In a nutshell, this is what we're going to be seeing in today's session. And to support that, if you do wish to decide to come on board with us, we have an extensive onboarding sessions organized by our consultants, which could be quite crucial for you to get the maximum return on investment. And in today's session, we're not going to be going through each of these components, so don't worry about it. We're only going to be focused on features and functionality that gives us low investment and early return on investment. I'm going to be showing you what RFM means, what's Magic Matrix, and any other key reporting tools we have inbuilt in the CRM. And as as any other software, there are so many other features and functionality, like you can automate your quote to order workflow. Hopefully, I can show you some of that, and certain other functionality which requires a bit more planning and configuration. And finally, before we move on to the live action, as you can see, RFM, it's one of the biggest reporting tools we've got in the CRM. It's the USP of our software. It stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. If you do Google RFM, you're going to find heaps of information. Based on your sales history from Unleashed, we're segmenting your customers into the following categorization: champion, loyal, at risk, and so on. Champions are the ones who have bought recently, buy often, and spend the most, compared to an at-risk customer who did spend big money at one point in time, but they've dropped in revenue due to various reasons. This could be due to seasonality, change in buyer, change in pricing. Whatever may be the reason, we indicate those customers to you. And finally, for any high-functioning business, you do want as many as customers buying and using your product. So what this does is every time you onboard a customer, until they place the fourth order, they will remain in this segment. So this gives your sales team an opportunity to work with them a bit more closely, build that relationship organically, and eventually make them your champion or loyal customer. So that's another exclusive area that we're going to be working in today's session. And the $1 million question. Okay, Matt, you're rambling on about the kind of features and functionality. We would like to know exactly what's the kind of data that's flowing in from Unleashed with zero friction. So we have a nice little graphic for you right here, which is going to outline the whole process. Of course, all the information feeding into the CRM is coming through from Unleashed. We pull through your currencies. It could be multiple currencies that you have, could be your base home currency or your suppliers. Any currencies that you deal with automatically flows in. We pull through any GST, VATs you're working on, tax rates, and warehouses. If you've got multiple locations in Australia, New Zealand, all that gets pulled through as well, or any other part of the world. and customers and suppliers. Of course, this is the main lifeline of the CRM where we pull through all your customer data and your suppliers information. And as you did see the tagline of the number one stocker as CRM, that's the key little value. We pull through not just your customer data, we pull through your product, different price tiers you've got, and the inventory levels as well. And finally, we also pull through your any sales order transactions, invoices, if you've connected your accounting software, and credit notes as well. Using all this data, there's a bit of a syncing that happens, and it's a deep two-way sync. You have the ability to create your own customers in the CRM. It doesn't have to be in Unleashed moving forward. What this means is, let's say you create a new prospect, a potential customer. You can quote, you can track that opportunity. And eventually, when they buy that product from you, once when you confirm that in the CRM, that automatically goes into Unleashed, which saves in a lot more of your time. And this could be a bit of an edge case if you are a company that has a wide range of catalogs and you don't want to save and store all those products in Unleashed. Just for quoting purposes, you can create products on the go. And once that quote is confirmed, before confirming the quote, you can then create that product in Unleashed as well. This could be quite handy as well. And this is the best part. I'm sure Unleashed customers use B2B portal for your customers who are placing direct orders. But for the sales team who are on site, who do plan their on site visits, we do have the ability to take orders in the CRM, which is quite crucial. We also have ability to quote in the CRM, and we have ability to take orders and choose from the product categories you have set up in Unleashed as well. Using all this data, we do a bit of a sales analysis. One of the main reasons why we are all here today to see what's the kind of insights we can provide to your sales team and how they can focus on each of these customers. And you can see right here, so that's the deep two-way sync that happens constantly, and it's a very tightly integrated software. Hope that gave you a bit of a flavor on what we're going to be seeing. Let's look and dive into the action now. Before I move on to that, I would also like to mention this session is recorded. So if you do like to share this to your team members, please do feel free to share it with your team members. And also we have a nice little Q&A button on your as an option for you guys. If you do want to drop in a question, please feel free to do that at any given stage. I will pick that up towards the end of the session, or you can ask questions after we are totally done as well. And hope you can see my screen all right. Let me double check for you. Yes, we're all good to go. That's the basic UI that you will be seeing once when you take the free trial. Right now, we're looking at a fictitious company called Coffee and Beans. Please do mind if there's any missing data. It is a fictitious company. And this is something they have everything and anything to do with coffee. They deal with beans, coffee machines, and so on. If any customer is part of the coffee roasting, this could be an ideal example for you. Either way, this will show you, give you a bit of a glimpse on how B2B companies use the CRM. And right now, we are looking at the account manager's dashboard, and there are various other dashboards we will be touching upon. This is going to be the primary area of focus, and this can be locked to certain account managers. If you've already set that up in Unleashed, we exclusively pull through that information, and you can set them up as an account manager in the CRM. And what this means is once when he or she logs in, they only view the accounts that they deal with and the kind of revenue they're pulling in. So it gives you the ability to, set KPIs, set goals, track their performance, and you have the ability to track performances on a customer level, on business, user, and a customer. And they have cool little graphics, that provides you how well they've been performing. You can see progressive view and so on. Right now, this data has not been filled through, but just giving you an idea on what's possible in the CRM. And just quickly picking up front and center, we've got the RFM analysis. So based on the sales history from Unleashed, we've done the following segmentation as your champion, loyal, and so on. If I quickly jump onto your champion customer, we pull through key information like the name, who's the account manager, first order date, last order date, and the total order count since the time they've come on board as a customer. And with the three-dot menu, you have the ability to save all our reports to Excel. So if you do want to make this into a calling list, you can certainly do so and be on top of those customers. And if you're using a third-party marketing tool like MailChimp, Klaviyo, or Spotler, you have the ability to export this contact list to MailChimp or Klaviyo, formulate your email, add your flyers, and any responses from that campaign will get saved under marketing under campaigns. That's the power of the integration we have. And finally, to your salespeople who do plan their on-site visits, we do have integration to Google Maps, which provides you the geographical presentation on where exactly your customer is located, and they can certainly plan their trips, based on territory and postcode as well. That's another little UI feature. Now, what I'm going to show you quickly is the level of integration. So if you do see right here, Byron Bay Coffee, they're your champion customer. And this is the basic UI that we pull through from Unleashed. Since it's a deep two-way sync, any updates that you make to the phone number or website will automatically get pushed into Unleashed, which saves a lot more of your time. And you can also see we have like an activity feed that shows you the most recent orders that have come through and how well they've been performing. Of course, I'm going to break through and go into a bit more of a detailed manner. With address, delivery address, any delivery addresses you have set up in Unleashed, we pull through that data. We also have postcode lookup. Just by entering the postcode number, this will get populated. With contacts again, right now you're dealing with Toby, and he's the general manager. You have the ability to add as many as contacts on the go, and you can similarly configure them based on your business process as well. Through the two-way sync, it automatically feeds into Unleashed. All the CRM things I'll quickly come back to. Documents is a key area where any emails you send, any project proposals, all that gets saved right here. And that's the link to open this account directly in Unleashed. As you can see right here, uh, the code, the name, what are the payment terms like, the price list and tax code and so on. And by all means, if you do want to access Unleashed, you can do so directly. The moment you give us access to your accounting software, QuickBooks or Xero, we can display all those invoices that are both paid and outstanding, any credit notes as well. And if I quickly go back to the main screen again, you can see on the right here, all these tabs are configurable. If you feel this doesn't match your business process, you can certainly do so. Similarly, this entire screen is customizable. If you feel it's a bit too overpopulated, you want to keep it as crisp as possible, you can certainly do so. And right now it's in standard dictionary. If you do have a junior team member who you don't want to access, who you don't want them to access any margins or cost price, you can put them on a restricted dictionary, save it and preview it as well. So that's another little functionality we have. And on the right here, we've got the at a glance section, which shows you which segment do they belong to. They're your champion customer. They last ordered 5 days ago. Spend in the last 365 days, financial year to date, and the Google Maps integration. And once when I click on one of these tabs, it takes us to the sales transaction tab. And this gives us the line by line view of all the orders that have come through, if they've been ordered, delivered, and invoiced. You can see the local currency that you're dealing with, the base value, and the margin, and the percentage as well. You can also see any sales order and the transaction date. There are totally 603 transactions. At any given stage, you only want to see what are the kind of beans they've got from you. You can quickly go in and see how well they've been performing. And as simple as that, you can just come out. And you may be wondering, a question may arise. Okay, through the integration, we're pulling through all this data. What's the kind of reports we're providing to the sales team members? If you jump onto the sales analysis, that's the go-to tab, which gives you the top level view of the revenue, the order frequency, and the last order date. And this interactive graph right here, that's the invoice value by month, and that's the order value by month. You can see how well they've been performing, and if you want to focus only on the last couple of years, you can see that as well. And as simple as that, you can scale back. Once when you open that report, we show you the breakdown of the revenue generated. By far, last year, March was the biggest year. And you can see apart from that, they've been fairly consistent. No wonder they're your champion customer. And another question that may arise is, how would your sales team talk to them about what products they've got from you and is there a room for any cross-selling opportunities? If you just come back to the screen, we show you the top products by value and by order frequency. And you can see this interactive pie diagram. This particular SKU is by far 35.4% revenue, followed by another SKU, and you get the idea of the breakdown. And once when you open that, we give you the total revenue generated by Byron Bay Coffee and the total number of SKUs they've got from you, and a bit of a descending order value on the total stock they've got from you as well. And from here, if I click on this is where we get the tagline of the number one stock OS CRM. Through the integration to Unleashed, we just don't pull your customer data, we pull through your entire product files as well, right from the SKU code, the name, selling price, cost price, total stock available, any categories, and any images you have set up. And by far, Unleashed will still remain your master data. So any changes that you want to make to this tool, you still have to do it to Unleashed, and through the overnight sync, it will reflect back into the CRM. And there are a few more things we pull through on the product levels. We pull through, as we did mention on this, on that interactive graph that we showed on the two-way sync. We pull through stock levels, as you can see right there. Any suppliers information that you've provided us, for instance, if there's any back orders due, you're out of stock, you want to notify a customer, your sales team can certainly do so. Sales transaction shows you the most recent transactions for this particular SKU, and sales analysis provides you a bit more of a key information on who are the top buyers. By far, Butter and Coffee, followed by CB Roasters, and you get the idea of the breakdown. And if you do scroll down, this gives us a bit more of an understanding if there's any seasonality involved. As you can see right here, one of the biggest months was March 2025, which was close to 14 units. Apart from that, there's been a couple of units here and there. You can certainly save all our reports to Excel and use it as your stock forecasting report for your next financial year and ensure you hold the right amount of stock moving forward as well. Images and files, the CRM can be a single source of truth. So moving forward, you can add any additional images, link any specification files or description files right here. And you can also save it. There's a tab called the library where you can save all the documents associated to your products. And with price tiers, any price tiers you've set up in Unleashed, we automatically pull through that data. You can see VIP, wholesale, walk-ins, and so on. And finally, there's another little functionality we have, which is the upsell option. We have the ability to link products to this coffee machine. Like you can make recommendations like the knockbox or the stainless steel. You can also make them as a must sell or an upgrade. You can always check with the customer if they're making like say 100 coffees per hour, you can sell this machine. Or if they want to make 250, you do have the ability to upgrade to a higher machine and get your average order value up. So those are the kind of features we have. Of course, these needs to be configured, which will be supported by us during onboarding. And I'm going to show you how it reflects every time we quote up this product over here, how these two recommended products come up as an additional prompt, encouraging your sales team to increase that average order value. So that's so far the kind of integration and the level of information we pull through on a customer and a product. I'm going to quickly go back to the main screen and show you these key reports, what actually it kind of provides you right from the day one. We also pull through some orders levels. We show you, as we did mention, it's a deep two-way sync. So any sales orders processed in Unleashed will reflect in the CRM straight away and vice versa. So it saves a lot more of your time. You can go choose specific times, last quarter of last year. There's absolutely a lot of filtering options. And with the three-dot menu, you can add fields from Unleashed as well. And 12 months order, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's based on all the orders that have come through in the current calendar year with a bit of a monthly breakdown. Close rates, any new opportunities that you're working on, like let's say if you're won or lost, we have sales pipeline reporting. Based on the outcome of that opportunity, it will reflect in this report, and it could be quite handy for you to work on. And problems is an after-sales ticketing solution that some of our customers use, primarily for logging any damaged goods on delivery, warranty and claims, and so on. Pending time, I'll give you a quick little example of that. And needs engagement is when was the last time you sent an email to the customer or set a task or added any activity or notes? Based on that, this will be up to date. It's a nice little starting point for your sales team. And finally, your sales team will love these two reports apart from the RFM because we have AI integrated in the CRM. As you do know, that's like the buzz acronym in the market. What it does is it calculates your average order value based on your previous sales history. It also shows you what's the shortest time your customers have taken to place an order and what's the longest time. And once when you open that report, as you can see right here, let's say as an example, the boat shed, they usually take every 38 days to place an order. And previously they've missed that and taken about 67 days. Right now it's been 118 days since they've placed an order. And that's the kind of average order value that's sitting in to be collected straight away. And by all means, if boat shed does place an order today, they do get pushed out of this report. That's how the CRM is constantly relearning and reevaluating and ensuring it's primarily up to date. And your sales team will love this report because it provides them a targeted list for them to focus. And apart from that, this customer trends report is another key report, which shows you in a nutshell who's growing, static, and declining. And if I quickly open that report for you, let's see maybe the growing or all customers. You can see as an example right now, it's all set up on the ones that are declining. Maybe if I refresh that, yeah, we can see the ones who are growing as well. Like for instance, you can see as an example, the B group, the spend in the last 365 days compared to the previous 365 days, they are growing, which is a great sign. Um, Compared to if I focus on the other ones, you can also see the ones that are dropping in revenue. Um, for beans and stuff, there's been a bit of a drop in revenue. Again, there could be numerous factors involved. Using the three dot menu, your sales team can either save them to Excel, make them into a calling list, and get them onto that repeat order cycle. Or if you're using MailChimp or Klaviyo, you can export this contact list, add them to a campaign, give them some special discounts, run a targeted marketing campaign, and ensure you get them back to that repeat order cycle. So that's the kind of key actions we provide, reports we provide right from the day one. What I'm going to do, since most of our customers are Unleashed users, we're going to show you quoting is something that you do prefer or do on a day-to-day process. I'm just going to quickly outline that workflow for you. Let's say we're going to be working with Michelle, who works for Browns of Ipswich. She's the main decision maker. Through the breadcrumb menu, you know who exactly she's working for. And as simple as that, you can scale back. We highly recommend working on a contact so we can trace back that information. As you can see, previously there's an activity, 20% discount. That's a note that's been left out. What are the activities that have happened? What quotes? All that can be captured over here. And any outcomes of the meeting, let's say if it's a general note or customer meeting, incoming call, that can also be captured. There's another key little information. There's a task manager capability, which I'll show you as we progress. And we also have email sending services. If you do use Gmail or Outlook, we have the ability to integrate to that, and you can track all those emails back into the CRM. And this will look exactly like how it's come from your mail domains. And another thing that we're going to be focusing on is to process a quote. By all means, if you know what exactly Michelle is going to do, place an order, you can process a sales order and you can confirm that, and that will be pushed into Unleashed as a drop sales order. And then your operations team can pick, ship, and invoice it. But just for this exercise, we're going to see a quote. Let's say it's a top-up order. And then all this data is populated. Once when you hit create, it goes onto the landing page of the quote. The CRM is pretty smart. It shows you only the top frequently ordered items by this fictitious company. You can already see that over here. Any reference number provided by Michelle can capture it over there. And you can go in. Now I'm going to show you the Breville coffee machine that we are talking about, the two products linked up. I'm choosing that. As you can see right here, that's the upsell option. So as you can see, it's recommending as we speak. So, and you can always check with Michelle if she wants to add that. You can enter that over here, and this does get populated. And if you do want to see other products, of course, you do feel it's a bit too smaller. This is not ideal. But when you hit the search section, this is what we call the multi-line quoting system. So there are totally 85 SKUs. We show you the cost price, the actual price, stock available, and so on, images, and also any other files that you have set up, the SKU code. You can go ahead through the search section over here, or you can go through the category with ingredients and so on. As we did mention, the CRM is pretty smart. It gives you the list of the recently purchased items by Michelle, or if she's asking for recommendations, you can go into popular ones. It'll show you the top 30 SKUs that have done exceptionally well with other providers. But since she wanted only recently purchased, let's go. She wanted a couple of beans that she's after. Let's go stock them up and hit add and close. It does get populated over here. And as you do know, as she is your existing customer, pretty sure she'll have your price list. As long as she sends you the purchase order, as it's got the right SKU code, description, quantity, and pricing. If it's a CSV file, you can drag and drop that in this dotted box. This will get populated as well. There are a few more, tweaks we can do on a quote where you can go do a bit of a grouping. So let's say you want to have this as machine or equipment, whichever is appropriate for your business process. You can tag them up and then you can make them as beans. The whole idea is if you do have like various components that you're selling for a bigger equipment, you don't want to showcase probably the pricing, and you can avoid the subtotal, and we can make sure we have only the grand total. Let's say if they do realize they're getting a part cheaper from another supplier, but you can always make sure that you're giving them the best units with the current warranty and claims and so on. And from here, what we can do is we also have the ability to edit pricing and discount. We did see a note that she is eligible for 20% rebate on machines. We can go and honor that. So that will also get reflected. And from here, we can either replicate your Unleashed quote template document that you're using already. We can replicate a template for you in the CRM during onboarding, or you can choose the options that we have right here, like the quote document, standard Word documents, and it can be certainly configured to your needs. But what I'm going to show you is go a step further and send an email to Michelle. Um, and you can see right here, one of the main reasons is we've got set templates. You can choose a basic email template or which with standard tables and so on. Before I go to the other version, I just want to show you if you've sent this quote and then Michelle is happy with the pricing, want to go ahead, you can just hit confirm right here, and that goes into Unleashed as a draft sales order, and then business as per usual, where your operations team can pick, ship, and invoice it. But I'm just going to show you another option that we have where we can automate that for you. So you have the ability to send as a basic email quote or a simple cover PDF. This will show you, give the opportunity to Michelle to either approve or decline a quote. I'm not going to send this email, but I'm just going to show you how this template looks like. So it gives you a bit of an understanding about the options that you have with your customers. Kindly bear with me for a few seconds. And as I did mention, all of these templates can be configured to your needs. These are the set standard templates we have. And as you can see, we can have your company logo, any reference numbers, and once when you scroll down, you can see right here, we have those two categories, machines and beans, and Michelle is seeing the pricing. And if she's happy with this, she's saying it's all good to go, and she's happy with the pricing, she can just hit approve or decline. Let's say she hits approve. What happens to the next workflow? It takes us to a payment gateway, where from here, Michelle can just enter the PO number. Once she hits approve, this will flow back into the CRM and then gets pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order. So that's how we have the ability to provide a customer on how they can approve a quote and complete the workflow. As you can see, thank you for approving the quotation. If I go back to the CRM, we're not going to bother sending this email. Let's probably go quickly refresh the screen. Yeah, this is the technical issue that I was mentioning. Since it's a fictitious account, it doesn't have the ability to do that. But basically what happens is you get a point saying this, instead of waiting to be confirmed, that's a confirmed sales order. So that's how you can complete that process. Apart from that, if you do have pro forma customers, we have Stripe where you can take those payments upfront with certain prepaid customers. With any delivery methods, we also have, we honor all of that from Unleashed. If you're shipping into regional Australia, New Zealand, any other part of the world, you have the ability to amend additional delivery charges in the CRM as well. So that's pretty much on how you service a quote in the CRM. Hopefully that was pretty useful and intuitive. Just an example, again, when you do take a free trial, when you see it with your existing data, it would be fairly useful as well. And let's say if Michelle has approved that quote, how will you get notified? That's another question we get asked a lot. So what we do is under each of those account, I'm a support user, but each of those users, we have notifications. So you have the ability to go, any tasks assigned will be instant. You get an email notification in your Outlook or Gmail, any assignments or problems, orders. So every time you get a new order, like say if Michelle had confirmed that quote, that's a new order. The person who's raised the quote will get a notification saying that there's an order confirmation. So that's how you be on top of those quotes that you send. You can also set notifications for missing orders or customer who needs engagement with integration issues or any emails. You can growth engine, all that can be made either instant, daily, or to your customers only. So that's another little functionality. And as a manager, if you do want, in one day you rock up and if you feel like you want to see what's the kind of activity your team members have been doing, you have the ability to go into their profile and see what are the activities, accounts that they've accessed, what's the kind of day-to-day, programs that they've done. So you can, if there's any KPIs to be met, that can also be accessed over there. And finally, before we sign off this session, just want to quickly show you two main factors is inquiry forms. You have the ability to create opportunities on the go, companies and contacts. And we have a sales pipeline reporting for new customers, some set standard statuses, which can be configured. And then you can track this opportunity and move on. Similarly, we do have this inquiry form where you can create an inquiry form, post it on your website. Any inquiries from your website will get saved under marketing under inquiries. And then your sales team can qualify it, create a contact, and then create an opportunity and track that. So that's how you manage new opportunities in the CRM. And the other thing I did mention to you that I was going to touch upon is the problems ticketing solution. Let's say the one that we just sent to Michelle, one of the beanbags got damaged. How are we going to track that problem and resolve it? So under Michelle, we do have, let's say, damaged goods. We give it a bit of a description. Source, we say it's come through from the email, and we can always have a technical issue if it's an equipment, and you can choose the statuses, passed on to the team, and sometimes even RMA number that comes in with product issue, any other issues like they're in product return or technical and so on. This gives you the ability to capture all that information, return number issued. It gives visibility to all the team members. Just for this exercise, it's a delivery issue. It's something that's happened with the damaged goods on delivery. Once when you hit create, it takes us to the landing page. As you can see right here, we have to set a follow-up task to ensure that we resolve any problems that we deal with our customers. Has to be done in a timely manner. Collect image and process credit note. You can mark it as high. You can assign it to a specific user who's responsible for that. It could be an admin contact or any other contact. But just for this workflow, I'm going to assign this to myself. And once when you hit create, it's going to reflect on the activity feed, and a notification email would be sent to your Outlook or Gmail inbox. And unless you've actioned it, it will still keep reflecting right here. And you can see the number of overdue tasks. The best thing would be is to go into that physically and then mark it as complete once when you have collected the image and processed the credit note. And whoever has picked this can say they're working on and stated it's with us. And let's say if your sales rep is on a customer visit, and if he's in the store with Michelle, he can obviously go in and then you can choose and take a photo of the issue and upload it on the go and then market it to a team member saying that this issue needs to be resolved. And once when I've taken it, you can see, okay, closed successfully or problem gone away. There's certain ways of tracking all that. And once that's been resolved, you can mark it as complete. Just again, giving visibility to all the team members on who picked that opportunity, who picked this issue, and was it worked on it successfully? How was it resolved? All that information can be captured right here. In due course of time, you might be dealing with hundreds of opportunities or problems. We've got reports for each of these tabs. You can see right here, we've got customers, we've got expert not why. If you go there, there's one called new opportunities, and you can see that's the standard tabular form we have. We also have a Kanban view, which will show you which is awaiting PO or ordered. You can also see the ones in monthly view, which is due to come in this month, next month, and so on. And by all means, if you do feel these are the set standard reports, if you do want to create your own reports, there is a way to do that. And as you can, we also provide you report training sessions during onboarding as well. So that's the kind of reports that we have with each of these elements. Before we finish off the session, I'm going to show you two main dashboards, and then we'll leave it for the Q&A session. Sales Manager's dashboard, it's a bit more of a holistic and a 360-degree snapshot of the operations of your business to see your performance, total customers, net change, closed deals, pipelines, problems. It's like a one-stop shop to access all that information. And finally, the Magic Matrix analysis. So it's a cross-selling tool that we use. We pull through your product categories from Unleashed. To use this tool efficiently, we don't need your third-party marketing tool like MailChimp or Klaviyo. As you can see right here, coffee carts or red obviously meaning they're unaware. Green means they're bought, amber means they're aware, and blue means they have an opportunity. So what's the idea behind this particular tool? So we put your customers on the x-axis and your product on the y-axis over here. We choose some of the categories you've listed in Unleashed. You can run it to a specific customer group, segment, sorry. You can choose, don't lose them at risk and hibernating. And you can choose even the type. Maybe you want to run it only to your retail customers or your VIPs and so on. As you can see right here, most of your categories, there's been a fair amount of penetration through that, but sugar sticks is something none of them have bought, or this particular tab as well. So using this, we're going to build an awareness for coffee carts and sugar sticks. And what we're going to do right here, we've already chosen the segments. You've got 34 customers. We only want to run it to the ones who are unaware of. And the moment you hit create campaign, this contact list will be pushed into MailChimp or Klaviyo, and then you can formulate your email for coffee carts and sugar sticks. But once when you send that campaign through, what happens to this report? These red dots turn into amber, which means right now they're aware of that category. And if they do respond to that campaign, the response comes back into your marketing under campaigns. And then, if they're interested, you can create an opportunity and turn that into blue. And then you can send the pricing, track that opportunity. Eventually, when they buy that from you, it turns into green. So the whole idea is to analyze as many as cross-selling opportunities, turn this report as green as possible, which will in turn increase your average order value. So that's the kind of key reporting, apart from the RFM, the AI, and the customer trends report. The Magic Metrics is a key reporting tool we have. With that having said, that's pretty much the end of the session. Thank you so very much for patiently sitting through the demo. We appreciate it. And sorry about that initial couple of minutes delay due to the technical issue. Sincere apologies for that. Just want to quickly show you what are the next steps. As a part of us saying thank you, the next step is to ideally start a free trial to see your data reflect. And it's actually a simple step. You can go into your Unleashed portal. On the left, there's the CRM tab, the integrations tab. And once when you hit that, you can try it for free. And as a thank you, us giving you, mentioning it, taking your time and joining today's session, we do give you the first 3 months at half price if you do take the free trial and then subscribe within your trial period. So that's, I hope, that's a nice little offer that you can make use of it. And thank you very much for, joining the session. As I did mention, you should probably take a free trial. It's again, there's no credit card details required, and you should certainly assess the CRM with your data. And right now, if you do have any questions, we can assess that, or we're more than happy to give you back 10 to 15 minutes of your day back. But yeah, I'll hopefully wait a couple more minutes for any questions. But thank you once again for joining.